Welcome to your new Port Richey. I'm Casey Coetti. This is your new Port Richey, and my guests today are Chris Bornfleth and his assistant Barkley. We have Mike Worssell from That Little Bakery on Grand, and we have a new Port Richey native who happens to be a Renaissance man and a new urbanist. We have Mr. Frank Starkey with us. I'm going to segue right over to Frank, and we're going to be talking about everything that you're doing downtown.
Everything that I'm doing downtown.
Well, you're here, you've invested in your time, treasure, and talent in downtown. Let's talk about Main Street.
Main Street is hopping. There is more construction. In fact, walking over here just this morning, there was all kinds of noise going on in the building where my office is, which is right in the middle of Main Street on the south side, right across from Johnny Grits. There's a new microbrewery that's going to go in there. On the other end of the block, there's another microbrewery that's going to go in called Cote River Brewing Company.
Two microbreweries.
Two microbreweries.
Okay, I see you smiling because, Chris, I know you love your
I'm definitely looking forward to it, that's for sure.
Okay, good.
And our office, People Places, is dead between the two of them. So we can we'll be able to walk out our door and go 2 doors either direction and get some beer. So I keep pining for that day.
Okay, what else is going on in Main Street? Isn't there a market coming in?
Yes, the 5800 Main Street building, which when I was a kid, 150 years ago, was a grocery store called Potter's IGA. It was also called Food Liner. In fact, in renovating the building right now, we just unearthed the original Food Liner sign that's painted on the side of the building. Wow. So we're putting a new grocery store in there. It's not a new grocery store. It's a market called Wright's Natural Market. It's currently out on US 19 and the Davis Center. Mm-hmm. They're going to be relocating as soon as we get the renovation done. It specializes in organic and natural groceries and vitamins and health and beauty products.
Doesn't that sound great, you guys?
Absolutely.
I
Completely agree.
Okay.
Completely
Are
agree.
you hoping to keep the sign, maybe? The one you've
I
discovered?
don't know. That's a tough one because that's where the brewery's going, and of course it doesn't really work with the name. We got to figure out something.
I've seen the sign. I thought it was odd that y'all did kind of a rough painting on the side of the building.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought it was something new, but now I know.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
interesting.
When do you think that building, the renovations are going to be done?
We're hoping to have it done in the January or February timeframe.
This year? This coming year?
Yeah,
18?
2018.
Wow. Okay, the microbreweries are going in at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, so we can start the new year with microbreweries downtown. How
That's
exciting,
right.
Chris. You keep smiling. Every time I say microbrewery, you have a big smile.
I'm just excited for Barkley. I know he's looking forward to
Oh,
it.
that's it, Parker. Well, he is 21 in dog years.
He's 77 in dog years, I think. So
Ah, okay.
he needs to get those micro brews in while he can.
All right. That's not the only thing that's going on
There's
downtown.
one more building going on there. I mean, one more business going in there is Encore Music, which is currently up in Hudson. They're going to be moving down with a music store with music lessons and instruments and general hangout jam session kind of place. So
Oh, fabulous.
music and beer and food and coffee and smoothie bar at Wright's Natural Market are going to change the way that people see Main Street and Newport Richey.
Very cool.
Fantastic. And right around the corner, I think you have another little tiny project going on.
Yeah, we're building a couple apartments called the Central on Orange Lake. It's going to be 2 phases. The first phase, we're starting construction hopefully in the next month or 2. And it's going to be ultimately 85 brand new, very nice luxury apartments overlooking Orange Lake with some really nice features in the apartments themselves and in the grounds surrounding them.
That's fantastic. Now, is it going to be a high-rise building?
No, just 3 stories and a series of smaller buildings that only have 6 apartments in each of them. So not the big garden apartment complexes that you see out on the highway, but something that fits more in the scale and texture of Newport Richey.
Fantastic. Barkley's got a question for you.
Yeah.
Something about dogs allowed?
Only if they're as well behaved as Barkley, but yes, we are
okay.
going to be dog friendly.
Okay, Barkley's going to be our test dog.
Right.
Everybody, if you
Yes.
get along as well as Barkley does.
Yeah, he's
then-
already met the application requirement. Chris remains to be seen.
He's much better behaved than I am.
Okay. So, when are you going to break ground on these?
Next month or 2.
Okay, and how long do you think the first phase?
It'll-
I mean, until
we're
people actually can move in
Yeah,
and then
we're-
walk down to the breweries and.
Next year, mid to late summer.
Wow,
is
so
what we're
this is
looking
moving
for.
along really, really fast.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it's construction, so anything goes. the time frames slip on a daily basis. But
I see a smile on Mike's face when you're talking
Well,
about things happening downtown.
Best laid plans and all that, they
Yeah.
don't always come to pass, do they? So, no, but yeah, these sorts of things do happen, and fingers crossed, there's lots of exciting, amazing stuff happening downtown, and this is just another one of those. And it's,
Don't you want to be downtown?
oh, we're close. We're not far off.
I know.
The downtown sign is right outside our bakery, but we would
Yeah.
love to be a little closer. It's just finding the right place, right time.
we
and,
still have an extra space for you.
Yeah,
So I think we have to find you at least a satellite location so that you
it'd
can
be nice.
downtown.
It would be lovely.
Yeah, because I saw you smiling when we were talking about microbreweries also.
Yeah, I'm actually a teetotal myself, but that's just that's my father. However, he's in England. He would kill at being near to a microbrewery. He's grown into that as he's got older. He's got into his real ales and travels the country in England finding microbreweries, and
How
so
cool is that? Hey, Frank, a quick question for you. Who are you going to be your tenants? I mean, you're a new urbanist, you're a developer. What about Newport Richey made you want to build an apartment complex and invest in buildings downtown?
Newport Richey looks like a regular real town. People know what that looks like, and people really like real towns. So it has good bones. It has beautiful natural settings like Orange Lake and the river, and the Gulf is dramatically close. And Gray Preserve is also close in the other direction. So there's a lot of just aesthetic qualities to Newport Richey. There's also great people and great leadership that really understand what they have here. The number of small towns that actually look like real downtowns in the Bay Area is very small. And Newport Richey is the next one that's going to be rediscovered. So that's what has really attracted me here.
Okay. And for your tenants, are you looking at retired people? Are you looking at young couples? Are you looking at millennials?
A combination, we think, of millennials and empty nesters.
Okay.
Empty nesters who are ready to, empty nesters meaning the kids are out of the house and they're ready to
I'm one of
downsize and live walking distance to the microbreweries and the bakeries.
he's determined, aren't you?
Me too. I'm on that bandwagon for sure.
and Wright's Natural Market. So there's a big appeal to people of the baby boom generation, and also a big appeal to the millennials who grew up in the suburbs and were bored, frankly, out of their minds because they had to be driven everywhere. And to them, the idea of living in a place where you can walk to something other than another house that looks exactly like yours is really fascinating. And that's where real traditional small towns get their appeal. So because those are just big markets, they're the biggest generations in the history of the planet. Millennials and baby boomers are who we're really targeting.
Okay, so do you see that it's going to bring people to Newport Richey, or is there already that need for those people that are kind of here and looking for that?
There are some of those people already here, but we're planning to draw from a larger area, from the larger Bay Area. Because of our distance from downtown Tampa and downtown Clearwater and St. Petersburg, for example, we're going to be priced a little bit lower. So people who are priced out of living in downtown Clearwater or Dunedin or Tampa will have, but want that urban experience where they can walk to actual neighborhood and walk to the rec center, which is another fantastic existing amenity that we don't have to provide the way it. That's going to be a draw for people from all over the Bay Area.
Okay, so you're looking at like millennials that don't want to commute so when they're home, so they can just
Right.
hop on their bike, they can walk.
Right.
Do you have price points on the apartments?
We'll be ranging for one bedrooms from about $1,000 to two bedrooms and larger two bedrooms that overlook the lake that'll range up closer to $2,000
Oh, fantastic.
for the higher end ones.
Okay, well that's doable certainly, and there aren't that many new places in the downtown Newport Richey area. Hey, you guys, you thinking? Hey, Chris, you don't live in Newport Richey.
I do not. I'm a Palm Harbor man.
Okay, so does
But
this make you kind
It's
of
definitely
thinking-
sweetening the deal. So
Yeah.
definitely
Your
looking
dog
forward to
already
it.
qualifies.
That's right. Halfway there.
Halfway there. And Barclay would be happy to know that we have a really dog-friendly downtown. We have a
Yes.
lot of restaurants that have have outside seating. And like Rose's Bistro, we're there all the time. And you can bring your dog and you can have dinner. And I love that. I think that's great. And it seems
Definitely.
like all the dogs that come downtown are really well behaved. So on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
How you doing? Anthony here, Four Corners Boxing. Here to invite you all out to Sims Park Saturday, November 11th for the boxing event in the park. 6 to 8 p.m. Be there.
We are back, and now I'm going to be talking to Mike Worssell from That Little Bakery on Grand. And as you can see, we have some sweet treats here. Mike,
Oh, yes.
before I start reaching over and grabbing some, talk to us about how you got here, because you do not sound Southern.
Well, it depends on which part of the south you're talking about. No, definitely not the south of the United States, but I am from the south of England. I moved here just over 3 years ago now. My wife and I met 10th anniversary this Christmas.
Oh.
And thank you. And we lived in England, and then my wife's parents, originally from Pennsylvania, moved to Newport Richey as snowbirds, then stayed permanently. And when we were living in England, we had always had an idea in the back of our mind of seeing what stateside was all about. And the time came, and Mum and Dad didn't hesitate, and we could get a good value house here in Newport Richey compared to Poole in Dorset, where I lived in England.
Yes.
So yeah, we made the move, and then the bakery was a completely other story. It's a very, very odd sort of turn of events that made it fall into our hands, shall we say.
Okay, so you can't say that and
I
then
know.
just segue into talking about something else. So you guys help me out here. What happened?
What happened?
I just wanted you to speed along so that you can introduce
Yeah.
us to your,
Hurry,
your
hurry,
food.
we want food.
No, what actually happened, we were actually on our way to a friend's, and it was a Saturday morning, and we were thinking of taking some treats with us. If anyone knows me and Jess, we're not the greatest of timekeepers, and we were actually ahead of schedule for once. So we had some time, and for whatever reason, I said, we'll go down Grand today rather than 19. Because
Okay.
all too often, if you're in a hurry, you're down US 19, and you think of just how quickly can I get somewhere. But we had some time, we went down Grand, where we knew there was a bakery. And the bakery was closed, but it did have a yard sale sign outside. Thinking, yard sale in a bakery on a Saturday morning, that's not normal. So curiosity got the better of us. We pulled in anyway, we opened the door. The then owner, Kathy, was closing the shop. She'd closed it the previous weekend and was essentially trying to sell her kitchen equipment and antiques and whatnot. And cut a long story short, we made her an offer. She accepted. 8 days later, we were signing a lease, and
Very cool.
3 weeks later, we opened.
Excellent.
Amazing.
Right place at the right
That is
time, I guess.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you have been baking treats ever since.
Ever since, yeah, 2.5 years now. So
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay. I'm drooling, and Barkley is Barkley's on his way
He's
over
definitely
to
trying to
visit,
get to the
so,
I shall
think-
explain what I've brought along
Yes,
today,
that
shall
would
I?
be great.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a bit of everything here. We've got both, obviously, our sweet fare and
Yes.
also some savoury goodies. Things we're most famous for is probably our ubiquitous cinnamon roll, which we have here.
Oh, yeah.
Known possibly for being one of the biggest cinnamon rolls around. I do occasionally spot cinnamon rolls in supermarket shelves and go, oh, bless, look at the little thing.
So you size them up?
Yeah, absolutely. Really? I do.
I thought about
And
that.
they are as good as they are large.
Well, they're scratch made every morning. That's the first thing I personally make when I go in at around sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. They take close to 2 hours from start to finish to produce, and we get through somewhere between 3 and 4 dozen of those a day. We've also got next door to it our little puff pastry cream cheese Danish there, which that is a blueberry variety. We try and do at least 4 varieties of those, 1 without fruit and then 3 with. And they can be ordered and requested in number and variety, so long as we know at least the day before.
Okay.
We've got our giant chocolate chunk cookie, which goes down very well,
Yeah.
and also our chocolate
You want first
brownie.
choice?
No, you go ahead.
I'll tell you what,
I'm gonna grab this guy.
I'm
Right
going to
here.
try and grab that one there. Good man.
Thank you.
Good,
Gonna
go
cut that
for it.
Yeah, I could cut one up for you. I'll tell you
That's
what,
a big one.
let's cut that one up for you. And then the last one on the sweet tree, which I will get to in just a moment. There you go, Frank.
This is delicious. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I like to get the goodie in the middle.
Oh,
the last
yeah,
one,
you
the
can't
last
miss
one
that
here
part.
is our banana nut bread.
Now, you guys are also famous for your banana nut bread. Don't you?
We
Don't you work with restaurants that
We do
actually have
indeed, yes. Keeping the downtown flavour going. Our banana nut bread is actually
Making a mess over here.
purchased.
Very
that?
crumbly.
Barclay might needed services for.
There you go.
Yay,
All
Barclay
right.
approved. Okay.
Our banana nut
Very
bread
crumbly.
is actually found on the breakfast, or you can actually have breakfast at lunchtime as well, menu at Johnny Grits.
Okay.
Johnny Grits, both in downtown Newport Richey and at their other location in Tarpon Springs. They use our loaf of banana nut bread, they slice it, French toast it, add fresh bananas, chopped walnuts, and maple syrup, and then top it with cream, and that is their breakfast item.
Please
I
steal
had
my
some that
heart.
the other day,
You
and
did?
it was a revelation. Who thought of French toasting banana nut bread?
Well, yeah, they did.
Needs an
and
Emmy.
We supply
or
it.
a
So.
Oscar or a Nobel Prize.
And then, yes, the other little
I gotcha.
selection we have here is a little bit more different to what you'd find in your sort of stereotypical sweet bakery. We wanted to offer something on the savoury side, and the first things that sort of popped into our head was quiche. Now, quiche is something that's had probably a bit of a bad rap over the last couple of decades. It's probably seemed to be a bit old-fashioned, bit 1970s, 80s in its sort of style, but quiche is a wonderful sort of type of food that is great for breakfast, lunch, snack. You can have it for a dinner with a side salad, other entrees and whatever.
I'll
And the
stop
be-
in the morning on my way into the office
You will,
and
yes.
pick up a quiche.
Frank is a regular.
And they're so good and they're so rich that I can have half of it for lunch
Yep.
and half of it for dinner.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I eat a lot.
And the beauty of quiche is that you can put almost any flavour combination together. Almost anything works in the sense that if there is a particular type of vegetable or meat that you want to put in the quiche, we will endeavour to do it. We have 3 varieties daily that we try and have every day, 2 of which are here. This is the spinach and bacon, which if I just pull this apart, you might be able to see what that's like inside there. A little bit of sweet onion in that one as well.
Slice of that guy right there on the left.
And then this one here is the our vegetarian version, which is ready for your close-up. This one is our tomato, basil, and mozzarella quiche, which is what I like to call quiche light because it's not as densely packed. You can see here
Right.
from the spinach and bacon one, there's lots of filling there. The tomato basil is a bit lighter. It's kind of the best way I just to describe it. It's a
Thank
bit
you.
like having a cheese and tomato pizza with none of the heavy dough,
Right.
and goes down very, very, very well. And they are available in our cabinet cold, but then you can take them home, reheat. Reheat can be done in an oven or a microwave, either way. And as I say, you can pre-slice, and I've got people who order the larger 9-inch size that we do, and they will take it home, slice it, saran wrap, put slices in the freezer, pop it out as and when they need it.
That's fantastic.
I caught myself looking at your food with my mouth open, and I was like, I'm gonna
That's what I
better
bought them
close
for.
that mouth.
They're not for show. They're not just for show. The final one in
Yeah.
the middle here is again, this will be pretty alien to most people watching possibly. This is known as a sausage roll. Now this is
It's not a pig in a blanket.
no, because a
Okay.
pig in a blanket,
Uh-oh.
UK side, a pig in a blanket is what's known as a chipolata sausage, which is a very, very small, skinny sausage
Okay.
wrapped in bacon.
Oh. Bacon.
That's what's called pig in a blanket
In the UK, yeah.
Different here.
Okay.
This in the UK is called a sausage roll. Now this is just basically lightly seasoned pork sausage meat, puff pastry wrapped around it, and in between the sausage meat and the pastry is a light brushing of Dijon mustard just to give it a little bit of extra something. And absolutely, this is something that can be enjoyed cold. At this moment in time, it's probably just on the sort of lukewarm side.
Perfect.
And then you can have them hot as well. They're lovely and crispy. Again, you can have them as a handheld snack. They're kind of Britain's equivalent to an American going and grabbing a hot dog, or someone Spanish, say, going and getting an empanada. It's that sort of quick, in your hand meat treat.
Street food.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
So you can sell them out the window when you open the bakery downtown.
Yes,
walk over with
that's
their-
more than doable.
Absolutely fantastic. So I didn't realize that your bakery actually is so international in the concept of what you're selling. So it's not a traditional bakery in that I'm not going to go in there and buy a loaf of bread and white bread and have you slice it.
Which you can do.
Oh, you do? You do
Yeah,
that
we do
bread?
that on a
Oh,
Wednesday.
Okay.
The title of the store, That Little Baker on Ground, is not an ironic title. In fact, we went with this one because that minute bakery on Grand didn't quite have the same ring. So it's very, very small.
Very small.
And it means that what we can do, we have to focus our energies on a particular day. So Wednesday is our bread day. We try and do 3 different varieties.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to cut you off
That's
right
all right.
there because we're going to take a little break
No
and
worries.
we're going to come back in just a minute.
No problem.
81% of consumers search online before even setting foot in a store. We help you create a strong foundation for your digital reputation. We help build your online presence to improve search engine rank and make sure your business information is correct across the web. You could do all of this on your own, but why would you spend more than 300 hours a year working on this? You have a business to run. Save time and put our software to work for you.
We have a simple mission: build champions. And we do this by offering you the opportunity to learn from some of the top individuals in the motorsports industry. And parents, this course is not just for young drivers, but for you as well. Our 8-week online course will cover marketing and branding, how to build a fan base, how to use social media effectively, how to master the media, and much, much more. So if you are looking for a competitive advantage, then Raceface University is for you. We look forward to making you one of our future champions.
Welcome back, and right now we're going to segue right over to Chris and to Barkley, who's been having snacks during the break. And we're
I
going
love these breaks, by the way. They're fantastic. You get a sample of the food. Don't have to worry about talking. It's great.
Okay. Nobody's ever said that before. They like the break time. All right. Barkley's happy too. Now listen, my favorite event is coming up. So I'm going to ask you and Barkley to talk a little bit about Puppy Paddle.
Yeah, definitely. So the Puppy Paddle is your favorite event?
It is.
I like
my
that. That
dog
makes me
and
happy.
I love Puppy Paddle.
All right. Well, the Puppy Paddle is a dog swim
Okay.
that we have here at our City of Newport Richey Recreation and Aquatic Center. Let's see. It takes place on the last day of our season, so that's going to be Saturday, October 28th.
Yep.
And we do it in our kiddie pool. So it's a day to bring your pups and your family. It's $5 per dog, and people are free.
Yay!
And yeah, definitely. I know Barkley's excited. But yeah, it takes place right before Halloween, so it's got a kind of a Halloween theme. We do a dog Halloween costume contest. We have spooky, kind of like Disney Halloween music playing in the background, and we have local vendors that come and kind of provide the different prizes for our different activities, and yeah,
Okay.
it's just a lot of fun.
So how do you dress up Barkley? He's all black to begin with, so that's got to help.
My girlfriend and I just got Barkley a dragon outfit, so he's got a green dragon outfit we put on. Super scary, and we've got a little Yorkie Paisley as well, and she's got a little witch outfit that she throws on, and She's not super happy about it, which makes her more witch-like, I guess.
Oh, Barkley the dragon. I love it. Okay, so how long do the dogs get to run and swim and play
Yeah,
in
definitely.
the pool?
Well, the event starts at 11 in the morning, and there are 2 sessions. There's a session for the little guys that are 18 inches and lower and shorter, I guess.
Okay, so from the shoulder, from the head, from the tail, 18.
We'll say the head.
Okay.
The head sounds about right.
All right.
I've never thought about.
Well, I know they measure animals at different places.
For me.
The
But yeah.
withers on a horse.
Withers,
Yeah.
So for the little guys, 18 inches and lower, I guess
Okay.
that's 18 inches or so. Yeah, they're in the pool from 11 to 1, and then
Okay.
we have a short intermission, short half-hour intermission. And the big guys, 18 inches and above, come from 1:30 to 3:30. So 2 hours apiece.
Okay, and it's the kiddie pool, but the kiddie pool is deep enough so that the dogs can swim.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Perfect.
only our kiddie pool is about 1.5 feet deep, so you won't get any. Our lifeguards, our brave lifeguard staff, won't have to jump in and jump in for any saves by any means.
Okay.
And it's swimming for dogs only, so no people.
drat.
I know, drats. So.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
people have the pool, year round. You might as well have one day for just the pups, I figure.
Do you let the dogs on the water slide?
No.
Oh,
Water slides and pup nails are a bad combination,
Kind of rough up the surface.
Yeah, it might rough up the
Sorry,
surface
that's
a
a
little
terrible visual of some poor dog going down the water slide.
I can completely see Barkley going down on all fours.
bit. I don't
He's
think
not
he'd be
hanging
too
out.
happy about that,
I know.
but hey.
If you haven't seen the water slide at the rec center, it's what, 128 feet long?
Yeah, it's about 3
Excellent.
stories tall, and
Yeah.
we've got a big slide, and we also have a little tiny fish slide for the little guys. So
Right. So the dogs can go down the fish slide.
no, nails.
Oh.
nails. And,
Okay, so
nails
I'm
and
wrong.
slides.
All right, I stand corrected.
We don't want to have to refurbish that thing. Every
Okay, $5 for a dog.
$5 for pups.
Bring the costumes.
Right.
Do they get goodie bags?
There are each pup gets a goodie bag that comes
Cool.
through the door.
All right.
People the owners just make sure that they bring their pup's proof of vaccination. So that's a big
Okay,
one.
but that's always on your collar, right? Is
Yeah,
that good
definitely.
enough? The little
Barkley's
rabies
wearing
tag?
his on
Yeah.
his right here.
Okay,
So
all right.
Yeah,
So
then they're good to
11 to 1 for the little guys.
11 to 1, and then 1:30 to 3:30.
1:30 to 3:30. All right. What's the biggest dog you've ever had there?
I don't know. I want to say we had a Great Dane a couple years ago, so that's a pretty big guy.
He was definitely wading in the kiddie pool. All right.
And I'm terrible with different types of pups. You and I were having a conversation a little bit ago, and you wowed me with your knowledge of dog breeds. And
Oh,
so
I know two.
I know we've had
dog
really
breeds,
big
that's
ones. We've had little tiny ones.
it. Okay.
And,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. CoteeMan. Let's talk a little bit about CoteeMan. What's
Mm-hmm. All right.
CoteeMan?
The CoteeMan is the CoteeMan Triathlon. So it's it's a triathlon that the city and Main Street put on.
Okay.
As kind of a co-effort, and
I don't know what you're looking at me for. Seriously. I've got quite a few years of training before I could get involved in that.
the CoteeMan Triathlon, it's what's known as a sprint, so it's a shorter distance, and it's a pool swim. It's only 150 yards.
Oh, okay.
It's a 9-mile bike and a 5K run, so it's perfect for beginners. So you're fueling up right now. You could knock out one of your pastries and jump in the pool, and you'd be good to go.
So all 12 of those miles are within the city of Newport
Yep.
Richey. So
Yeah, definitely.
You get to see all of the fine parts of the town and downtown and Orange Lake and all
Excellent
that.
point. That's right.
Yeah, the bikes go right through the downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and the running go around Orange Lake.
But
By
both the bike and the run do hit a portion of Orange Lake.
Okay. And how many people come to the triathlon?
Last year we had 186 registered, so I'd expect somewhere between 180 and 200. It's a great event, and it's definitely growing each and every year.
Well, that's a nice afternoon event.
Morning event.
Morning.
Yeah,
It's a
don't
nice,
do it in the heat of the day, do you?
It starts at 7:30 in the morning, so it's nice and cool, and
Yeah.
it's November 11th, so it's mid-November, so it's gonna be cool regardless.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a nice early morning activity to get you up out of bed and give you something to do.
And people come from, is it people in Newport Richey that do this?
We've had people register from everywhere, really. We actually just had a couple register from Ontario. We had a couple
Ontario,
register.
Canada?
Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
I guess there's
they're having a
Ontario,
look-
California.
Yeah,
but
there
This is,
is.
this is Ontario, Canada.
Okay.
And Denmark as well, so that's pretty cool.
Somebody's coming from Denmark. I love it. So it's an international
International
CoteeMan triathlon.
Right now we've got 11 states represented and yeah, I guess 2 different countries other than the U.S. So people are coming from all over the place. We're going to be the next Ironman, I figure.
All
How
right.
many people do you expect this year?
Somewhere between 180 and 200, I would say.
Good number.
So we let's see, 2 years ago we took it over. We had 116, so we went from 116 to 186, and yeah, we should be right around, hopefully around 200.
Is this something that, could I do it as the first time ever? I mean.
Oh, it's a perfect event for beginners. Perfect,
Okay.
perfect. That pool swim is definitely ideal. If you've ever done an open water swim, it
Completely
can be a
different open water
yes,
swim.
it can be a bit of an eye-opening experience. Back when I used to race my first triathlon, I jumped in the water and it's like, what in the heck is this? You know, people climbing over you. It's kind of like a water mosh pit for those open water swims.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's a nice pool swim. Just 150 yards. So
Barkley, are you going to do the CoteeMan? I think you said no.
Barkley's not a big fan of the water. His sister Paisley might.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Andrew with School Choice Week, and I want to invite you to participate in a really cool event. It's called Celebrate Youth, taking place January 27th from 10 to 2. That's January 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pasco County Safety Town. It's a community-based School Choice Week event, and you can meet with folks from all across the community and have a lot of fun. So January 27th, 10 to 2, Pasco County Safety Town. Hope you can attend.
Welcome back to your new Port Richey. If you see some shadows around us, it's because the crew is here hovering, wanting to grab a few little goodies before we eat them all. I actually wanted, Frank, to ask you about your talks about town. I don't think that maybe everyone in our audience knows what they are. I know you do them every couple of weeks.
Yep.
But tell us a little bit about them.
Talk About Town is a series of conversations with the community when we have speakers from different aspects of what's going on around town come and talk about what they're doing. For example, we've had presentations by the Sheriff's Office. We've had talks about urban design. We've had talks by the SPCA talking about pets. And our next one, upcoming on November 13th, we're having Lisa Fierce from the City of Newport Richey is going to demystify the city grant process.
Oh,
There are a lot
that's
of grants available
excellent.
for homeowners and businesses, and
Yes.
she's going to talk about those.
Okay.
But before that, on October 30th, we're going to have a walkabout town. We're going to take it outside and talk about some of the urban design lessons that we talked about earlier this year and last year. So every other Monday at People Places Studio, which is on Main Street, right between the future of breweries, at 5742 Main, right across from Johnny Grits,
Okay.
from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay.
They're very casual. All are welcome. We usually will have a discussion, a talk, and then extended Q&A, so we really get a conversation going.
And these are all free. So
All free.
feel free to stop in. You can also check his People Places Facebook page if you didn't get the date quite right. And do stop in because they're very informative and actually a lot of fun. All right? Hey, Mike, you were going to tell us what 3 kinds of breads you have on Wednesday. So what 3 flavors?
Wednesday's bread day, we have a butter top white bread, which is kind of like an old-fashioned 6-ingredient farmhouse white. Ooh. We also do a honey wheat loaf, which has no added sugar at all. The only sweetener is the honey. And also for the sweet tooth out there, we do an awesome cinnamon raisin swirl, which I've been told makes very good French toast as well. But
Okay.
almost as good as the French toast at Johnny Grit's. But there we go.
All right, fantastic. Chris, do you have anything that you want to add about Puppy Paddle? I know Barkley's a little bit too tired to speak up right now. So
He's not tired, he's just relaxed.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
Just relaxed. Let's see here. During the break, the question was brought up, are there any health code violations or anything that might take place during our puppy paddle? And one of the reasons why we say swimming for pups only is, to kind of keep the health department, on our good side. So yeah, like as I said before, the event takes place on the last day of the pool, swimming for pups only, and then after that, the kiddie pool pretty much has 4 to 5 months to recover from the event. So we vacuum and we super chlorinate the pool and we backwash and we get it back in tip-top shape for our reopening on first day of spring break.
Okay.
So
this is really
no
a
worries
celebration
whatsoever.
of closing the
That's
pool
right, yeah,
for the
definitely.
season.
Puppy
So
Paddle's
it's
a definite
perfectly
celebration.
pristine when everybody comes back.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely,
fantastic.
definitely.
You guys have been phenomenal guests. I cannot thank you enough for being here today. It's been a great fun show. I want to take just a second to talk a little bit again about what's happening this weekend. We have Out of the Darkness, which is a walk downtown in Sims Park that is to raise awareness for suicide prevention, something that I think has touched probably everyone everywhere. And so if you've got a little bit of time, go out to that. That's first thing in the morning. Then pop on over to Puppy Paddle in the late morning and early afternoon. And then don't forget Scare Trails at James E. Gray Preserve on Saturday night. Now that is from 6 until 9 p.m. It's $2 per person, not for little kids. You have 4 scare zones. You can go through again and again and again and again. So in other words, you can scare yourself silly for $2 all of Saturday evening. So that's it. In the meantime, I will see you all downtown, and until next Thursday on our Facebook page, have a great week.